Bobby Rajendran from Saudi Arabia. It's the kind of place that has taken the world today. I think we talk a lot about it. We're human. We eat food. We import most of it. We try to grow some of it. And I just want to tell you how it is like in Saudi Arabia. So before we start, short video. It's a nice little place. This is our supermarket. It's just like any supermarket anywhere else. Clean, neat, selling a lot of food. We do sell a lot of salmon, And we do sell a lot of meat. And most of the meat comes from Brazil. We have had Italian meat too. We do consume a hell of a lot of olive oil, and a lot of it comes from Italy. A lot of our apples come from Italy as well. It is a unique supermarket, but overall, it has been an interesting journey for me. I've held this job for a few years now, and we have seen some unprecedented growth, but things are changing. And just like Ian was talking about, the global supply chain causes a lot of problems for us, just like it causes for all of you. But we are in the middle of it. Each time Suez Canal gets jammed, we suffer. So, going on, Tamil markets, we began in '79, opening the first modern supermarket in Saudi Arabia with Safeway USA. Over the decades, we have embraced modernization, e-commerce, smart farming. Actually, we own a smart farm which is actually with Italian technology. We have partnered with Zero, which is a company out of Venice, close to Venice. And we produce green leaves in Saudi Arabia to sell in our stores. And strategic partnerships. In 2023, PIF took a 30% stake in our business. For those of you who do not know, PIF is the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia, and those are the guys who are building NEOM, building all those Red Sea resorts, and all that flashy news that you see, it's all done by PIF. If you sit in Saudi and watch the development of the country, it is truly shocking what is happening. Not the next World Cup, the World Cup after next is in Saudi Arabia, and they're building a stadium right very close to one of our stores, where our head office is. And I would tell you, in 9 months, they've reached the top of that stadium already. In 9 months, from grounds to that. I mean, it's amazing, the development. Yeah, there are things that have slowed down. NEOM is not going to be the 153-kilometer straight line building. That's not going to happen. That was a flash in the pan, and it's going to be 1.5 kilometers, maybe 3, right? But the other things which have got a clear date will be completed. So anyway, in 2024, we acquired another company called Al Raya, and that has taken us part of past 140 stores and cemented our 2-banner growth strategy. This is our vision. Let's move on. All interesting stuff. To our customers. 70% of our customers are local. 30% of our customers are expat. And expat meaning we have Indian, we have Anglo, we have Italian, we have Spanish, Venezuelan. Every type of person is in Saudi Arabia, and all of them eat unique food. And you'll be surprised at how unique they are. The Colombians, we have a lot of Colombians there, because they all work in the oil industry. Because Aramco is still the biggest producer, a biggest employer other than the government in Saudi Arabia. Aramco used to be the Arab American oil company. It's no more the American oil company because Americans were expensive, and we asked them to go home, right? So today we have Cubans, Venezuelans, Colombians, Malaysians, Indonesians doing the jobs that Americans did. Essentially, oil is oil, and once you know how to do the work, labor is interchangeable. Therefore, everybody who has worked anywhere in oil have come to our country. And with NEOM and with all those PIF projects, we have inflow of really expensive expatriates in our country. People who make a lot of money and who demand to eat certain food. I mean, I can sell Kobe at 300, 400 euro a kilo in my store. I've even imported Japanese Kobe, halal Kobe, which retails for 7,500 reals per kilo, which is 1,300, 1,400 euro per kilo. And there's a market for it. Very small, but it's there, right? We don't sell much of it, thankfully. Anyway, 11% of what we sell, we self-import. 89% is local. It doesn't mean it's local. I don't import it. So it's imported by other people and I buy it locally. So most food product is imported, right? We are getting close to 70% self-sufficiency in chicken, which is truly unique in a country which does not have water. But shrimp, we are probably self-sufficient. It is one of the biggest exports of Saudi Arabia. Who knew? Shrimp, other than oil and oil-related products, chemicals and rayon and whatnot, next one is shrimp. And it is actually a sustainable project in a desert, made in the Red Sea. So we do have some unique things and a lot of it is exported to America. So it does work. So on this, of the imports, most of it is today from the European Union. And that was a COVID shift. COVID-induced pivot. That's when most of the products started coming from the EU. Because we couldn't get, like Ian just mentioned, containers from America. They were just scattered all around the world, and we had no choice. We had to change, and we started moving away and started importing a lot of stuff from EU with the help of Paul and everybody else, and we managed to feed the country, right? And we are really proud of it because we foresaw what COVID could bring, and we started pivoting before the market did. So we fed Saudi Arabia. We probably did one of the better jobs during Corona, right? So we're very proud of it. Brazil is up there. Most of the meat comes from Brazil, beef. And then Dubai, UAE, 8.1%, and that's, again, re-imported products which come out of Dubai. So the journey isn't about retail expansion. We have become a platform for food innovation across the Middle East, importing from all continents except one. We're working on it. Trump will make sure we get it from there too. So, what are we doing now? There is a traditional narrative that innovation flows from the West to the East. This is no longer true. In our interconnected world, innovation flows both ways. And we have heard Jane speak, we have heard everybody speak, and I have some examples of the same. There is a product called Smith's. It's a Dubai-based snack firm. It's expanding into Asia with products like honey butter flavored baked corn, designed specifically with Asian markets in mind. And it shows how Middle Eastern companies are now creating products for global exports. Korean-inspired flavors, we spoke about Korea, Natasha, yesterday, developed in the Middle East, are now gaining traction globally. The honey butter craze actually started in Korea. It's been adapted and improved in the Middle East markets, then exported back to Asia. This isn't theory. We are seeing chocolatiers on social media driving consumer interest with companies like Phil Chocolate, the pistachio-flavored chocolates that we speak so much about, going viral online, showing the global influence of digital platforms in shaping modern confectionery trends, and now adopted by Lindor. I hope there's nobody from Lindor here, because Lindor tried it and God, it doesn't taste anything like pistachio. The Middle East food service market is projected to grow from 101 billion in 2025 to 190 billion by 2032. And we're talking 7 years. Why 2032? There is World Cup, there is Expo, and everything else is in that region. And this increase is a 9.44% compound annual growth rate that outpaces many Western markets. It's changing. In KSA, Saudi, wholesale and retail trade grew 6.9% year on year. And consumer spending grew 7.5% to $378 billion US. There is a lot of money in Arabia. No matter how you cut it, yes, there's some poverty, and we'll see it. Nobody talks about it, but the amount of money in the market is immense. So, demographics, however, our consumer base is younger, more global, and more fusion-driven. We call this the fusion generation, and they are shaping what's next. We have seen a 40% growth in Korean spiced halal proteins in our store in the past 18 months. And let's not even talk about Korean cosmetics. Ready meals combining Italian pasta techniques with traditional Arab flavors. European technique halwa and date products with added probiotics have become premium bestsellers. Our partnership with Thai company SCG International has brought Siam Signature products to our stores in December 2024, featuring halal-certified snacks and sustainable royal-initiated brands. This type of East-East collaboration is becoming the norm. Why do I say all this? There are some emerging consumer categories that we see. We have identified 3 high-potential customer types: the health-conscious traditionalist. They want wellness without giving up heritage. The convenience paradox. They crave speed, but not at the cost of tradition. The experience-driven shopper. They want cultural connection and discovery when shopping. These insights help us reimagine everything from packaging to merchandising. And it's an important thing that we want to be different and healthy, but we want this combination with our culture. I think the big mistake that we make all the time is we try to sell what we think the Arabs want. Those days are gone, right? That is the biggest change. They know what they want. Yes, social media will drive a trend and it'll get a craze. There was a time when Prime was the big thing. All of you remember Prime? It was such a big deal. And I went all over Europe, America trying to get this. We were selling it about $20 a can. $20 a can. of prime. What's it in the UK? 120, 130? No? So that was the trend. It was so big, but it dies. Because there is no cultural connection to this. It has to be a combination of what the Arab want culturally. It has to weave into their mindset, then it works. Otherwise, it kicks off and it dies. The chocolate worked because it was pistachio and chocolate. Pistachio has got this thingy in Arabia that it's a cure-all, the best nut ever, right? And therefore it worked. So the Korean infused one, they take halal chicken, use the Korean flavors, combine it, and package it in Arabic for Arabia. All of a sudden it works. It's an interesting thing. I mean, this is something that I'm trying to impart here so that when all of you try to do business in Arabia, is not just sell, but to bring something close to what they want. It's really important if you want to have a sustainable business that it has to be a fusion of what you have and what they want in a cultural fix and halal, right? So, moving on. Inflation is a global issue and especially felt in food. At Tamimi, our strategy includes dynamic sourcing, technological integration like AI forecasting, and value engineering. The key, don't compromise on quality, but be flexible and transparent. Transparency builds trust, and trust builds loyalty. At Tamimi, we have worked with some of our partners, like Safeway. We have been working with them for the past 49 years, 47 years. We still import Safeway product. We still sell those products in our store, and they are one of our best sellers, right? We have been working with Paul, which we met, Paul and I met and we exchanged coffee in Dubai maybe 6 years ago. Out of the blue, somebody introduced us. I think it's Choitrams who's introduced us. And we have been doing business based on a handshake since that day. We are very loyal with who we work with. Very seldom do we walk away from a relationship. Once we build trust, we are there for you, with you for the long term. So, whatever you do, whoever you work with, feel free to work with me. All of you are suppliers and retailers. But if you want to work with somebody, build some trust. At Tamimi, we blend modern retail with traditional storytelling. I would tell you a lot of stories, but one of the stories I tell you is that we had this very old store. We called it the 103. So it's the third store in the Tamimi chain. I got to the store. I looked at the store after being there for a few years, and it looked really, really old. And we had not done any renovation on the store because the person who started it, Mr. Ali Tamimi, his wife, who's still alive, still shops there today. So she likes the look and feel of the store, so we couldn't do anything about it, right? And she's still alive today. So I took on this challenge, and we renovated the store. I don't have pictures of it. It's quite unique. And we made it extremely modern arabesque. So after renovation, which took 3 months, she went to the store and she said, it changed, but it didn't change. Right? I mean, we spent a lot of money on this to make that feel so Arabic and so traditional that she felt like she was shopping in the same store. So again, it's the traditional values that you have to keep in Arabia to keep it going, right? We do a lot of things like that. I mean, like in products, take Italian olive oil marketed for Arabian dishes. We have za'atar-infused olive oil. This is where heritage meets premium. European dairy for traditional cheeses, like our partnership with Hungarian cheesemakers for private label kashkaval. That's the cheese that they like, white cheese. I personally don't like it, but that's the sort of thing that we have to do in Arabia. Digital transformation alone is not enough. True innovation requires cultural sensitivity. I keep on talking about cultural sensitivity because it's a big thing there, right? Innovation must respect context or it will not stick. Cultural content awareness is paramount. Never assume what works in Europe will work in Saudi Arabia. So how do we use all these insights? We see enormous opportunity for reverse innovation. Dates-based health products that thrive in the Gulf are now gaining traction in Europe wellness markets. The product in question is Milaf Cola. It's a world's first date-based soft drink. By the way, dates have got a very low glycemic index, so you can consume a lot of it and nothing happens to you. So it's probably good for you. So we are taking an ingredient that has sustained Arabian traders for over 1,400 years and using it to compete directly with Coca-Cola and Pepsi. And it's working. They are making inroads. The company cannot produce enough for Saudi Arabia, and they're expanding to export. It's a unique product, and once you taste it, I mean, I like it. I don't like Coca-Cola, but I like Milaf Cola. Not that I'll have it every day, but it's a unique product. It is happening there. This is what I mean by reverse innovation. Our heritage becoming tomorrow's global trend. The halal gateway. The European halal food market is projected to reach $663 billion by 2033, going at 6.57%. And it's probably because we are not having enough children. Right? But the Arab world keeps on growing, they immigrate, and they do have more children than us. Korea, birth rate, I believe, is 0.8 for each person. So they are not going to grow in the future. US is about 1.4, 1.6. It still grows, but with Trump stopping immigration, US will stop growing very soon. Europe is about 1. We have problems. We have to continue expanding to ensure that our companies survive. And I am here to tell you that the halal gateway, the food market, is where the next growth is going to be. If you combine Europe's halal demand, sustainable technology, and supply resilience within Middle East markets, you will get mutual growth. Sustainability is becoming mainstream, with consumers prioritizing ethical and sustainable dining options. The global halal meat market is projected to reach $601 billion by 2030, with significant European growth. Let's use this as an alternative supply chain. Source from here, sell there. Source from there, sell here. There is a lot of growth which has to be two-way, not just one way. Things are changing. We have to stop looking at Arabia as this gold mine or this oil well where we can make money from, and start thinking about taking product from there and bringing here at the same time. Because this market in Europe the halal market in Europe is going to get bigger and bigger. Don't lose sight of it, right? Everybody's focus has always been that we export to Middle East. Let's change that thought process, because if the halal market here is going to keep growing, we need to get supply here from there. So let's work both ways. So 40% of our fastest growing categories are fusion products, like I meant earlier. It's not a trend, it's a transformation. There is functional traditional foods like new camel milk, which, if you haven't heard, is another unique product. It is fresh camel milk sold in our dairy cases. And it works. It sells. It just started out of the blue. Again, most of these companies were started by the PIF because they saw a niche and they created these markets and started building on it. Now it's a leader in the category and they're starting to export. Milaf Cola that I mentioned before. Wellness Zatar, enhanced with turmeric and ashwagandha, following global trends towards mushroom. And I've never understood what this ashwagandha thing is. I do take it. I'm one of those who pops a lot of tablets every day. And other functional ingredients, superfood halwa, protein bars. Fusion convenience Korean Arabic ready meals, which is bulgogi spice lamb with traditional sides. Sustainable luxury. We have Neom has got Topian, which is a climate-proof agricultural product, and is going to produce tomatoes and everything else in the middle of the desert sustainably. They've already started, and it's working. Whether it'll make money is a whole different thing, but we can always dream a lot of things. Saudi Arabia, like I mentioned earlier, produces 60,000 to 70,000 metric tons of shrimp annually. And they're the first in the MENA region to achieve ASC certification for sustainable shrimp farming in the desert conditions. And we thought it was impossible 30 years ago. All these things are available there. It's time to bring it here. So I'm more than willing to work with all of you to make that happen. So 3 key takeaways. 1, fusion is the future. Don't just replicate old recipes. Reinvent them with global relevance. 2, premium local is global. What's premium in Jeddah can be premium in Bologna. East-West partnership is essential. The winners will be those who build bridges, not pipelines. Cultural fusion is the future. 35% of UK respondents find British fusion appealing as it allows trying new flavors in familiar formats. Our Korean Arabic products' success demonstrates this principle. Familiar Korean flavors, bulgogi, kimchi, adapted for halal requirements and Middle East palates. European companies succeed in our markets, adapt their core competencies to local cultural preferences. Premium local is global. Major European supermarket chains like Tesco, Sainsbury, Asda, Auchan, Carrefour, and Edeka have significantly expanded their halal sections. Halal is going to get really big. Don't wait for it to happen. Get on it. Our premium local sourcing initiative commands 25 to 40% higher margins than standard products. The East-West partnership is essential. Our joint venture with Italian Zero and Japanese Mitsui demonstrate 3-continent collaboration, and it's working for us. The Thai company I mentioned earlier, they launched Siam Signature in our store and is bringing authentic Thai flavors to Saudi markets. European suppliers who understand Middle East applications for their products achieve 3 times higher growth rates than those standard export applications approaches. So again, culture and partnerships. Don't make it a sales opportunity, make it a relationship opportunity. Let's move from transactional to transformational. Instead of just exporting standard products, Co-develop versions optimized for Middle East cooking methods and cultural preferences. Learn the Middle East food service market. We face a lot of competition. There are a lot of people coming there. A lot of people fail. Some of them do succeed. But partner with the likes of Tamimi or other people to give you the foot to get into the door. I would tell you that I'm working with a Colombian banana producer. We talked about this yesterday. And most of the bananas come from Del Monte or Chiquita. I wanted an alternative. We found somebody in Colombia, of all places. It's very far to where we are. But I gave them the opportunity to come to the market because I will give them a guaranteed minimum that they can sell to me, which gives them the foothold in the kingdom to start selling to other people. So that's what we can provide. We give an offtake agreement to people so that they can come in, and once they're set up with us, they can expand. And that's the way to work Arabia. If you come to Arabia, which is just on a selling basis, we are not selling cars, right? That's the difference. We are selling food, and food changes. And if you don't have somebody to buy from you, to set your base in, you're not going to succeed. It's a difficult market. Please remember this, cultural adaptation, and partner with people who understand the market. Cultural investment. Companies that invest in halal certification and cultural understanding will see a 40% higher success rate in our market. For global retailers, test Middle East fusion concepts in your stores. It will work because things are changing. People like to experiment, right? Hyper-localization is growing in 2025, blending global culinary trends with unique local flavors, like your ubi, right, James? Partnership over transactions. The Middle East food service industry is transforming with chefs experimenting with flavors, techniques, blending Middle East recipes with global influences. Join this transformation as partners, not just as suppliers. Instead of how we can sell European products in the Middle East, change your approach. How do we combine our European expertise with Middle East market insights to create global innovations? Halal certified European products developed specifically for Middle East applications will succeed. They have a higher rate of success. The future is shared. The MENA, Middle East and North Africa food service market is projected to grow from 100 billion to 190 billion. The global halal food market is to grow from 2.64 trillion, that's $1 trillion in 2024, to 9.67 trillion by 2037. So the growth potential is so high, but please tap into that market. This isn't just Middle Eastern growth, it's a global opportunity that requires East-West collaboration. And in closing, the future of food is not East or West, it's shared. In closing, I invite all of you to move from asking, how do we enter Middle East markets, to how do we build the future of global food together? Because the companies that will succeed in the next decade won't be those that export products, they'll be those that export and import ideas, creating innovation that feed the world's evolving appetites. Thank you.